Okay, so this is a very short video just finishing off topic 3.4. So we're going to be looking at file security and file privacy. So, there we go. So, files could be deleted or damaged either accidentally, so I deleted the file by mistake, through a program fault, I click save and now the file refuses to open, or through malicious intent, a virus, a hacker, a disgruntled employee, and so on. And this is bad news for organizations. Losing some files would be a disaster, and if unrecoverable, could even lead to the company failing. How would Amazon cope if it lost its stock file? Methods to stop this happening are referred to as file security. This is related to, but is different from file privacy, which is how to keep a file from being viewed or edited by unauthorized people. The methods used to ensure privacy are often the same as those to ensure security. So we have access rights, where files can be given access rights which state which users are able to view the data, who can edit the data in the files, and who can delete the data in the files. A user is usually identified as using a login name, and it applies to file privacy and security. So we've got login passwords, where users are identified by the login name and the associated password. And there's many different ways that this could be done. So either through a smart card, fingerprints, eye prints, finger scanners, and all sorts. Again, applies to security and privacy. So physical security, so not allowing unauthorized people to access a PC on the network of the organization. That applies to both of them. Firewalls, so that only authorized connections from external networks are authorized, such as the internet. Antivirus, which is updated several times a day, applies mainly to security, though some viruses or Trojans can pass private information onto criminals. We've got warning messages and validations. So, to stop somebody accidentally deleting a file, a warning message will pop up, are you sure to delete this? If you want to delete this, could be shown. And this applies specifically to security. We've got encryption. So data can be encrypted using a key, which can scramble the data being saved, so it can only be readable by someone with the correct decryption key. We'll come on to using the Burnham cipher in the next topic to decrypt data. Therefore, if someone got hold of a disk with sensitive information on, they won't be able to view the data unless they have the key, and this applies to privacy. We've got disk mirroring and RAID. So methods of avoiding problems caused by hard disk failure. Data is written to 2 or more hard disks, so that if one disk fails, the data isn't lost. We've got authorized software, making sure that the organization only installs reputable software. And then security with backup and recovery. So however good the security systems are, there's always a chance that data could be lost. Therefore, all organizations and individuals, so remember you need to be doing it as well, should have a backup strategy. So the backup strategy needs to take into account how valuable the data is to the organization and how long it would take to re-enter or recreate that data. So if you were to lose all of your coursework, how long would it take you to recreate your coursework? In a traditional offline batch update system, where a master file is updated from a transaction file on a daily basis, a backup method called grandfather, father, son is often used. And in an online system where the master files are updated immediately, then a backup system using transaction logs is used. Backup tapes or removable hard disks are usually stored in fireproof safes, preferably in a separate building away from where the original data is held. So on day 1, we've got the transaction file from day 1, and we've got the grandfather master file. So then we have the updated master file from day 1. So following an update from the previous master file and transaction file, following an update, the previous master file and transaction file are kept as backups. So then we've got the father. So day 2, you've got the update from day 2 merged with the master file, which gives you a new master file for day 2. And then you have your newest master file to use on day 3. In the original system, 3 days or generations of backup will be kept grandfather, father, son, with the grandfather being reused again after that in notation. However, there are many more generations that will probably be kept nowadays in most organizations. If a master file becomes damaged, it can be recreated using the previous day's master and transaction files. So most modern systems are online applications, and many use a database management system. These systems do not use batch updates, and the files are being constantly updated throughout the day. For example, a flight booking system would record the seats being booked immediately to avoid double booking. So this is real-time data that we're now dealing with today in our modern lives. The files will be backed up each night, usually onto tape, and these tapes kept securely. A system similar to the generation system will be used with backup tapes being kept for several weeks and one tape kept back at the end of each month. If a file was lost during the day, then the file could be recovered from the previous backup. However, all of the changes that had occurred from the previous backup would have been lost. To prevent this, a transaction log is kept, which records every change, every addition, every edit, or every deletion of the records. And it keeps all of these together with the time and the user who made the change. Therefore, if the file is lost, a master file can be rolled back to the state of the previous backup, and the computer can rapidly reapply all of the transactions from the transaction log to get the backup back to the state it was in before the crash occurred. And finally, we've got file archiving. So records from files are no longer needed to be online and directly accessible for everyday use, but are too important to be deleted and often removed from online systems and stored securely or off-site. So, for example, bank account transactions from 5 years ago. Even, for example, within the college, I keep all of my emails, but I don't need to have in my inbox last term's emails. So I archive those onto my pen drive. They're out of my inbox, and then I can keep a backup of that archive as well if I need to refer back to it. If data was not archived in this way, then the online systems would need to deal with ever-expanding data files, backing up a huge number of records that are not being used, and this could slow down processing unnecessarily. Okay, so that's everything on file organization. Make sure you revise, because after this topic there's going to be an assessment. So the next lesson will be an assessment on topics 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, thanks very much.